Jackson here at Song Mentor. Well, today we're going back to one of CCR's better LPs, the Green River LP, which featured the song Bad Moon Rising. And on the flip side of Bad Moon Rising was a song called Lodi. And Lodi is about a small town in California and the adventures of a down-and-out musician who can't seem to raise enough money to get out of town. Sounds like my band's gig last weekend. My point is, we've all, if you're a musician, you've been through this at some point where you end up with a gig or two that just is in the wrong place at the wrong time. Lodi was very popular on that LP, as was the LP itself. Here's CCR's Oh Lord, Stuck in Lodi Again. Well, like Jethro Bodine used to say on the Beverly Hillbillies, I did myself some ciphering. And I've calculated 7 chords for this song. It's a 4-chord song, but there's a key change in it. And in the key change we present 4 other chords, one of which is duplicated from the first key. And that leaves 7 altogether, and here they are. You need an open G major, an open C chord, you need a D, and an E minor. Then in the key change we need an open A, an open E chord, and an F sharp minor. And the chord that's repeated is the D chord. It's in both keys. So those are the 7 chords you need for Lodi. Okay, I'd like to show you the basic strumming pattern, and it really is just an up, down, up, and then kind of a muted slap. So, up, down, up, slap. Up, down, up. Just to get the hang of that, when you come down for that last strum, you know, the heel of the hand here mutes the strings. Just about a year ago, I set out on the road. Okay, that's the basic strumming pattern. There's going to be some notes we have to hit. But you can see we always come back to that pattern that I just showed you. Up, down, up, slap. That's the strumming for Lodi. Alright, well, let's talk about the basic chord progression. And I should tell you that if you listen to this song on the CD, or listen to it as an MP3 file, or however you choose to listen to music these days, you'll see that it's in B flat. I'm quite sure that the word on John Fogerty back then was he tuned down guitars occasionally for recording purposes. I'm showing you the song in G. It's a much easier song to sing it in. And that's my goal for you. It's not to always be faithful to the original when the original creates problems for people singing and playing. So we're going to play it in G, and when we do the chord change, we're going to take that up to A. So here's the basic chord progression as it starts in G. Just about a year ago, I set out seeking my fame and fortune, looking for a pot of gold. Well, things got bad and things got worse. I guess you know the tune. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Alright, I've worked out a little intro for you in the key of G, and the first thing you're going to do is strum down twice on the middle strings, the 4-3-2 strings of the G chord. And you'll notice that when I strum down on the 4-3-2 strings, the 3 and 2 strings are open. So that's where we're going to go with that. Strum, strum. These 2 notes, and that is my first finger on the C note, the first fret of the B string, and my second finger on the A note, the second fret of the third string. So we're sliding that up 2 frets, so we're on 3 and 4 of the second and third strings. And then back down and then open again. So to repeat that. Okay, just to see what the right hand's doing there. And then just to finish it up, so we're going to pick this time 4-3-2 again, but we're going to keep our fingers there where they ended up. And all I'm doing there is taking that second finger from the A note on the third string and putting it on the E note, switching it to the E note of the fourth string. Final full G strum. So let's try that all. Now let's do it one more time nice and slowly, and we'll flow right into the strumming pattern. Okay, well, I'd like to show you 2 important bits of riffing, and the first is what he does at the end of every verse. And so it's oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. Okay, so what we're doing there is, and all we're doing is E, open G, A, and then sliding up those 2 notes we played earlier. And then a little run down. Okay, and that's just stuck in Lodi again. So that's one bit of riffing. The other bit of riffing I want to show you is just some stuff you can play in the transition from G to A. After the third verse, the If I Only Had $1 verse is the fourth verse, and before we get into that, we need to transition from the key of G to the key of A. So all I'm doing there is playing a D sus, throwing a D sus in, then I'm going to go to the A, bar the A with my forefinger, and I'm going to play those 2 notes again, those same 2 notes. 3rd fret, 2nd string, 4th fret, 4th string, or 3rd string rather. Pattern there. Again, that's just an E with an E sus, so I'm playing the open E chord, and then what I do is flatten out my pinky to include that A note right there. So again, slowly. If I only had $1. Okay, so there's 2 bits of riffing you're going to use at the end of the first 3 verses, and then the transition from G to A with that, playing around with a D chord, an A chord, and an E chord, and then getting back to the A that way. There's a little more to them than that, but that's a nice basic way to do it, centering around the D chord, the A chord and the E chord, and then settling back into the key of A. One last thing to show you before we move on to a playthrough here, and that is just you're going to need to do a couple of progressive notes coming down from the G to the E minor chord in the song. So it's a year ago I set out on the road seeking my fame and fortune. So we got a seeking my fame and fortune. And we just want to make sure that we strum the G chord, and then I can use my second finger to play the F sharp note. My fame and fortune. That gives us that little run down to the E minor. In the key of A, if I only had $1 for every song I sung, and every time I had to play. So this is a little trick here. I got to go from the A chord, and then I got to get that A flat. I can use my third finger for that. And then the F sharp minor chord. Okay? So having shown you those little runs down, then we have everything we need for a playthrough. Alright, our playthrough is going to go like this. We're going to do the intro, first verse. I'm going to skip the second and third verses because they're just repeats. Then we're going to go into the transition, and then the last verse in the key of A, and the end. Here we go. Just about a year ago, I set out on the road, seeking my fame and fortune, looking for a pot of gold. Well, things got bad and things got worse, I guess you know too. Oh Lord, stuck in Lodi again. If I only had $1 for every song I've sung, every time I had to play, while people sat there drunk, you know I'd catch the next train back to where I live. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. Alright, for fine tuning today, I just want to show you a potential ending for the song other than just that really straight ending that we just did. Because what they do is, of course, fade the song, but they end up doing the same thing as the intro, except in A. So So you could do that twice as a nice little ending to the song. Again, that's just sliding up on those two, except we're 2 frets higher now instead of going. We're up here now. And you have to use the second and third fingers because your first finger is barring the A. Everything else is the same. So that gives you a little ending. Hey, there you go. Don't get stuck in Lodi. We'll see you next time on Song Mentor.